Es gibt eine dritte Welt.
What if your own son was also your grandfather? That's not a bad dream. That's the central family tree problem in Dark, the Netflix show that melted millions of brains and sent everyone running to YouTube for explanations. And in the next 15 minutes, we're going to untangle the mess. The 33-year time loop, the two parallel worlds, and the hidden origin world that wipes everything clean. Stay till the end, because once you see the final fix, you'll never watch Dark the same way again. Why Dark feels impossible. Dark isn't just time travel with subtitles. It's a puzzle where kids go missing in 2019 and reappear dead in 1986. Your high school crush is from another universe, and the villain trying to end the world is literally your older self. It's confusing because Dark isn't one timeline. It's multiple timelines woven together, then mirrored in a second world, all held in place by paradoxes that technically should not exist. By the way, if you thought it's just German Stranger Things, wait until you realize Stranger Things is like a coloring book compared to Dark's 4D chess. To make this simple, we're not going episode by episode. Instead, we'll break Dark into 3 layers. The 33-year cycle that traps the town of Winden. The two parallel worlds. Jonas's world versus Martha's world. The secret origin world that resets everything. If you can understand these 3, you basically understand Dark. Let's start with the backbone of the whole story. The 33-year cycle, Layer 1. The 33-year cycle, the loop that eats itself. Imagine time in Winden as a giant Ferris wheel that stops at exactly 3 years, 1953 to 54, 1986 to 87, and 2019 to 20. Every 33 years, the same cosmic configuration repeats, and that's when the wormholes open. Whenever this wheel lines up, people get tossed around between these years. 2019 kids fall through a cave and wake up in 1986. A man in 2019 walks into the cave and ends up in 1953. The apocalypse in 2020 becomes a fixed point the characters keep slamming into over and over. If you've ever said, "I'll totally change my life next year," Dark is what happens when time hears you and says, "Nope, you're on rails." How the 33-year loop works. 3 things matter here. The caves, natural tunnel between 33-year intervals. It's like a broken elevator that only stops on those 3 floors. The nuclear plant accident in 1986 creates the strange matter that turns Winden into a time travel infection point. The time machine. Built later by Tannhaus, then copied and used in different eras. So people keep bouncing. Mikkel disappears in 2019, wakes up in 1986, grows up as Michael Kahnwald, and becomes Jonas's dad. That means Jonas's dad is actually Ulrich's son, which makes Jonas both Ulrich's son-in-law and his grandson. That's our son is your grandfather kind of insanity. Here's a super simple family tree mini visual in words for Jonas's side. 2019, Ulrich and Katharina have Mikkel. Mikkel falls back to 1986, grows up as Michael, marries Hannah. Michael and Hannah have Jonas in the 2000s. Jonas is born because Mikkel time traveled. If Mikkel never disappeared, Jonas wouldn't exist. That's already a paradox. But Dark goes way further. So if Jonas only exists because Mikkel traveled, who sent Mikkel back in the first place? That's where the show turns into full-blown paradox territory. Layer 2. Jonas versus Adam. When the hero becomes the monster. In a normal show, Jonas would use time travel to save everyone. Roll credits. In Dark, Jonas keeps trying to fix things and slowly mutates into the thing he's fighting. Adam. Think of Jonas as 3 versions stacked on top of each other. Teen Jonas. Confused. Wants to save his dad and stop the apocalypse. Stranger Jonas, middle-aged, realizes his attempts keep causing the very tragedy he's trying to prevent. Adam, old, scarred, convinced the only way out is to destroy everything and end the knot of time completely. Adam is not some random villain. He is Jonas, stretched over decades of failure and pain, convinced that the universe has to be burned to be freed. The knot. Everyone is their own cause. Adam leads a cult called Sic Mundus in Jonas's world. Martha's older self, Eva, leads an opposite group called Erit Lux in the other world. Both sides think they're saving reality, but both are actually feeding the same knot, a tangled loop of cause and effect. In this knot, people are born because of time travel. Those people then time travel and cause their own births. No one can point to a first cause. It's just there. That's called a bootstrap paradox. Imagine waking up, finding a manual titled How to Build a Time Machine, building it, then realizing that manual was given to you by your future self, who only had it because you built the machine. Where did the manual really come from? That's the knot. Two of the biggest paradox bombs in the show are Jonas/Adam, Martha/Eva, and the unknown. The unknown? The walking bootstrap paradox. Let's talk about the creepiest character in Dark, the unknown, the guy with the cleft lip who always appears in 3 ages at once, as a kid, an adult, and an old man working together. He is the literal child of Jonas and Martha from the alternate world. Here's the twisted part. Jonas, from Adam's world, and Martha, from Eva's world, have a child. That child grows up in 3 versions at once and becomes an agent who ensures the very events that lead to his own birth. He delivers blueprints, triggers events, and locks in the loop that created him. He has no original moment. There was never a version of reality where Jonas and Martha had a child first and then time travel appeared. His existence is pure bootstrap paradox, an effect with no beginning. The unknown is basically Dark looking at you saying, "You want logic? That's cute." So we've met Jonas/Adam, Martha/Ava, and the unknown. But here's what makes everything truly insane. There isn't just one world. Layer 3, 2 worlds. Jonas's world versus Martha's world. For most of the show, we think we're just hopping through 3 time zones in one reality. Then, Season 3 shows up and says, actually, there are 2 corrupted worlds that mirror each other. Call them World A, Jonas's world. This is the one we follow first. Adam lives here. Mikkel disappears here. Winden has the nuclear plant. World B, Martha's world. This one is reversed in subtle ways. The yellow raincoat belongs to Martha, not Jonas. The dynamics are slightly shifted. Eva rules this one. They're not different dimensions, in a random sense. They're sister worlds, both created by a single event in a third, original reality. More on that later. Jonas and Martha, hero and heroine of 2 worlds. In Jonas's world, Jonas is the protagonist. Martha is his love interest and part of the Nielsen family tangle. In Martha's world, Martha is the main protagonist. Jonas arrives as the outsider from a different reality. Older versions of them, Adam and Eva, each believe that preserving their world requires protecting the knot, not destroying it. Adam: if we destroy the knot, we end the pain. Eva: if we destroy the knot, we lose our son, the unknown. Our existence depends on it. So Adam keeps trying to end the loop by collapsing everything into nothingness, while Eva keeps interfering to protect the cycle and ensure her child exists. They're fighting, but their war just keeps weaving the knot tighter. It's like 2 people arguing over whether to keep or delete a corrupted save file, while the save file itself keeps rewriting their memories. Visual family tree. The incest knot made simple. Let's simplify how cursed this family tree is. Imagine a chart where the Conwalds, Nielsens, Tiedemanns, and Dopplers aren't just neighbors. They're literally looped into each other. Jonas is the son of Mikkel, who is Ulrich's son, making Jonas both Martha's friend and her nephew by marriage. In at least one world line, Charlotte, in The Police Officer, is both the mother and daughter of Elizabeth, thanks to time travel and pregnancy loops. Many characters are their own ancestors because they're born of relationships that only exist due to time travel. The key thing to remember: almost everyone in Adam and Eva's worlds exists because of the knot. Remove time travel, and half the cast just never gets born. So when Adam says he wants to end the knot, he's not just ending time travel, he's basically pressing delete on his entire family tree, including himself. But here's the twist. Both Adam and Eva are actually wrong about how to end it. The answer doesn't live in either of their worlds. Layer 4, the origin world, the one that actually matters. Here's the big secret of Dark. Jonas's world and Martha's world are not the originals. They are side effects. The real story begins in a third reality, often called the origin world. There, one man's grief breaks the universe. H.G. Tannhaus. In the origin world, Tannhaus is a clockmaker and later a physicist. His son Marek, Marek's wife Sonia, and their child die in a car accident when their car is forced off a bridge into a river. Destroyed by grief, Tannhaus spends his life trying to invent a time machine to bring them back. When he finally turns on that machine in 1986, instead of just going back, he splits reality in two: Jonas's world and Martha's world. These are the corrupted copies where time loops endlessly and the knot forms. So the entire 3-season nightmare of Dark is basically a side effect of one man trying to save his family, Claudia, the only one who figures it out. While Adam and Eva are obsessed with their own worlds, Claudia Tiedemann quietly becomes the MVP. Across decades of jumping through time, Claudia realizes no matter what Adam or Eva do, the loops keep resetting. They're stuck in a knot that repeats the same pattern with tiny variations. The only way out is to stop the knot from ever forming in the first place, by going back to the origin world and preventing Tannhaus's tragedy. She discovers a loophole, a tiny window in the apocalypse moment where time freezes and you can jump sideways, not just backward or forward. That loophole is the door to the origin world. Claudia explains this to Adam in his old age and convinces him to work with her plan instead of trying to obliterate everything blindly. So the guy who's been nuking timelines for decades finally has to admit the real mastermind was the nerdy nuclear plant director. The final mission: Jonas and Martha save reality. Here's where Dark actually becomes kind of beautiful. Following Claudia's instructions, Adam uses the loophole during the apocalypse moment to pull teen Jonas out of his timeline. Instead of turning him into Adam again, he sends Jonas to team up with teen Martha from the other world. Together, Jonas and Martha do something no one else has done. They ride the apocalypse wave through the loophole and arrive in the origin world right before Tannhaus's son's fatal car accident. In that origin world moment, Marek is leaving with his family in anger after arguing with Tannhaus. They're about to cross the bridge where they die. Jonas and Martha appear on the road, stop the car, and convince Marek to turn back. There's no time machines here, no cults, no Sic Mundus or Erit Lux, just two teenagers from non-existent worlds begging a family not to leave. Marek decides to return to his father. The car never crashes, and Tannhaus never loses his family, because he never loses them. He never becomes obsessed enough to build the time machine. He never splits the world. The knot never forms. Jonas's world and Martha's world dissolve like dreams. So the ultimate fix for the most confusing show on Netflix is a simple family reconciliation. No multiverse punch, no giant machine, just don't go. Go back home. The erased worlds. If this breakdown finally made Dark click for you, or at least made it slightly less brain melting, hit that like button, drop your wildest dark theory below, and share this video with that one friend who keeps saying I tried to watch it, but I had no idea what was going on. And if you want more mind-bending breakdowns of shows that make Inception look simple, subscribe and turn on notifications. We've got more timelines, more paradoxes, and more wait what moments coming your way. Because if Netflix is going to keep making shows this confusing, someone has to explain them in under 15 minutes.